Hi, this is Amy Marone, spiritual hypnotist with Sensorium Hypnosis and host of Healer Within. There's a quiet intelligence that lives beneath the heart, a wisdom woven into the soft tissues of the belly. For many sensitive, intuitive women, the gut is not just an organ of digestion, it is a sanctuary of intuition, a storage chamber of emotional history, and the place where the soul whispers its earliest truths. Empaths do not simply feel deeply, we process deeply, often in silence, in the body, and most commonly in the gut. I've lived in this reality not as a concept, but as a lifetime relationship with my own body. After decades of symptoms and years of seeking answers, I was diagnosed with a rare vascular compression disorder, medial arcuate ligament syndrome. Surgery brought some initial relief, but healing was not linear and certainly not instant. Even now, my digestive system speaks in subtle language, tension, fatigue, tightness, sensitivity, further compounded by a secondary autoimmune disease. Recently, during a doctor's appointment, my gastroenterologist paused thoughtfully and asked, "Do you believe emotions can affect the gut?" I smiled. Finally, a doctor who understands. I told him what I've witnessed in my work as a hypnotherapist and experienced in my own body. I see more women with childhood trauma and gut disorders than any other population. IBS, ulcerative colitis, chronic bloating, food sensitivities, even patterns of reaching for sugar, alcohol, or triggering foods, not from carelessness, but from coping. These aren't just diagnoses. These are stories of nervous systems shaped by survival, of hearts trained to protect others first, and of bodies holding truth long before the mind can decode it. The gut is the first place intuition speaks. Empaths navigate the world through sensing subtle shifts in tone, energy, intention, and environment, and the gut receives these signals before language forms. It is not a weakness. It is an ancient intelligence. Many empaths grow up navigating unpredictability, emotional volatility, unmet needs, or environments requiring constant attunement. The nervous system learns, stay alert, stay attuned, manage emotions for others first. This vigilance contracts the belly. It tightens nerves. It alters digestion, not because we are fragile, but because we adapted to survive. The gut does not create trauma. It is where trauma is remembered for the purpose of greater alignment and healing. When emotional expression was unsafe, the body became the container, and the gut, rich in neural pathways, intuition, and sensitivity, became the messenger. The women I work with share a quiet common thread: difficulty self-regulating emotions, struggling to set boundaries, remaining in draining environments far too long, disconnecting from the body to stay strong, prioritizing others' needs before their own, and carrying emotional memories silently. This is not pathology, it's adaptation, the body protecting the soul until it is safe to release. I once worked with a woman whose life had quietly eroded by constant tension and fear. She had remained in a marriage that demanded her silence, compliance, and emotional containment. Her husband, prone to explosive anger and belittling language, grew jealous of her growth, intimidated by her ambition, wary of her friendships, and resentful of her joy. Every success, every renewed sense of self seemed to spark yet another internal tightening. Her stomach carried the constant weight of this emotional oppression. Nausea, bloating, tension, and digestive flare ups were her daily companions. Her body became a mirror for a life forced to contract, to shut down, to accommodate the ever present threat of judgment, criticism, and emotional volatility. Her work, her social life, even her ability to leave the house were continually limited, as though her entire existence had to shrink to protect a fragile, overworked gut. Through spiritual hypnosis, trance healing, and mystical meditation, she began to notice something extraordinary. Her primitive mind, the part of her nervous system trained for survival and constant threat, could be observed, soothed, and eventually deactivated. In a deep trance state, the higher mind, the wise inner self, became increasingly accessible. The higher mind does not merely react, it sees patterns, recognizes long-standing protection strategies, and guides the soul toward choices that honor both safety and expansion. In meditation, she learned to sense the constriction in her belly, not as a punishment, but as a signal. This is where transformation is possible. Ultimately, the higher mind must determine a long-term solution to restore the gut to optimal health. The internal wiring and self-limiting beliefs that reinforce the cycle of suppression, fear, and hypervigilance must be challenged and released. This woman faced profound decisions, boundaries to enforce, environments to leave, and beliefs about herself that needed to be rewritten in alignment with her higher truth. She came to understand that the trauma self, the part conditioned to survive emotional repression throughout her childhood, could no longer dictate the terms of her life. Protection, discernment, and self-compassion became essential. The gut, which had carried the memory of every suppressed emotion, began to relax as she aligned her choices with her higher self. Healing is not just physical, it is conscious. It is the recognition that the gut is a sacred messenger signaling where change must occur, and that the higher mind, when activated, holds the authority to create a life in which the body, mind, and spirit are once again at home and at peace. Empaths do not have sensitive stomachs. They have heightened awareness. The belly is not broken. It is actually quite wise. Symptoms are not failure. They are messages from the part of you that refuses to abandon truth. Healing the gut is not just digestive work. It is energetic untangling, boundary reclamation, nervous system soothing, and reconnection to intuition. It is permission to soften, to separate what is yours from what is not, to rest, and to be held. Healing begins when we honor the body, not as a problem to fix, but as a compass pointing us toward wholeness. Your gut does not speak in symptoms to punish or overwhelm you. It speaks to return you to a state of authenticity and safety. Your body needs you to set boundaries, to trust your intuition, to listen to the wisdom of your soul. So, my friends, If your gut has been whispering or calling urgently, I invite you into this sacred work through spiritual hypnosis, somatic integration, nervous system repair, and higher self guidance. We can help your body release what no longer needs to be carried and to align fully with your soul's wisdom. I'm going to put a link below in case you are wanting to schedule a spiritual healing consultation. And for those who want to do an even deeper dive, I urge you to check out in the link below the blog on healing the digestive system, where I include some journal prompts for gut body awareness. Again, my friends, my name is Amy Marone, spiritual hypnotherapist with Sensorium Hypnosis, and I thank you so kindly for joining me today. Until next time, be kind and compassionate to yourself. Take care.